Okay, today was June 26th, which is 626 Day for Stitch, and we are at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival preview, which we bought tickets for through our membership in Tables in Wonderland. It was available on their website for $135 a ticket. Being that it's on a Sunday afternoon, we didn't have passes to attend, so this does include your admission to the park and also all of the food that you receive while you're in there, tasting everything that's going to be at Food and Wine, just a sampling of some of the items. You can see one of the first dishes we went to was South Korea, and I'm not going to go through all of them as I'm talking through the video because you'll see them at the end as well as all of the descriptions as I'm going along, so you can see what they're called as well as the ingredients that are in them. These are the items that are going to be previewed at this year's 2016 Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. The Chew, which is a show on TV, of course, is going to be featured at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival again on October 5th through the 7th. And those shows are going to air October 10th through the 14th. So if you're interested in being a part of the show and being in the audience, you are welcome to do that. One of the things that I loved about attending this event was it truly was all you could eat. You could go around and pick which ones you like the most and try them again. However, it is only 2 hours and there is limited seating. So we kind of just walked around the entire time and got food. And then while we were eating, we would stand in line for some more food. And it literally took us, there's 14 different entrees, 4 different desserts, and a ton of different alcoholic beverages. And it took us a full hour and a half to get through all of them. So we barely had enough time to do so. So a lot of the people we saw, they would go and sit down at a table and then go and get more food and then come back. And I don't know how they did that because we would have had no time. Oh, this is the liquid nitrogen ice cream. And oh my gosh, it was so good. They put caramel sauce, powdered sugar on it. And, they had done a liquid nitrogen last year at 2015 Food and Wine Fest. But this particular ice cream with this was amazing. I am going to talk a little bit about this meal that you see in front of us. This is the smoked beef brisket with pimento cheese, and it was served on griddled garlic toast. And it probably was my favorite meal or favorite taste that we had while we were there at the Food and Wine Festival. A lot of the drinks, wines, beers, all of that came locally. That particular beer you just saw was from St. Petersburg, Florida. And another great thing about attending this event was that it really was all you could eat and drink. So as you can see, we went up to some of the beverages a couple of times, especially the ones that we really liked. This meal right here is the scallops, and they were huge and very rich, but really good. It had a truffled celery root puree with Brussels sprouts and wild mushrooms on it. So I was really the only one in the group to try it because at this point, everybody was getting very full from all the food that we were eating. The next station we went to was Greece, and they had the loaded Greek nachos, which had pita chips and meatless sausage on them. And I got to tell you, I don't know how it was meatless sausage because it tasted a lot like real sausage. I was so full at this point, though. It was really hard to enjoy it, but I refused to not try everything and be able to be a critic of, for myself, of course, because everybody's taste buds are their own. I'm not going to tell you what you would love versus what I loved, but I will tell you that those meatless nachos were great. The desserts that they had there in Greece, not so much. I didn't really like the yogurt whipped cake. But one of my favorite desserts was, besides the nitro chocolate, was the cream cheese with guava sauce on it. This last dish is the chicken and dumplings, which at this point, again, we were so full. It was really tasty, but it was too full to enjoy it. They also had plate samples of all of the food, which I took pictures of. Here's the liquid nitrogen chocolate almond truffle again, that we loved. The mojo pork with black beans was delicious. This was a distant second on our desserts. Then we also, oh, that wasn't even on the list. I didn't really like that one at all. But this beef skewer was pretty good. The duck and polenta was delicious. The seared scallops with the puree and wild mushroom, that was so good. This one was a little salty, but tasted good when you took a bite with the white rice, so it kind of toned it down a little bit. Pork tenderloin, pretty good. And then that smoked beef brisket was truly my favorite entree that they had. Greek nachos, probably in my top three. This yogurt cake, I could have totally lived without. And the lobster roll, that was pretty good too. I mean, we get that in Magic Kingdom over by, the Haunted Mansion. So I don't really want to order that while I'm at Food and Wine. Then here's pictures of all of the wines and beers. They put out bottle samples of the things that they served today at the tables in Wonderland. Now, again, this isn't everything that you're going to see at the Food and Wine Festival, which is going to be September 14th through November 14th of this year. But it is just a sampling again, and it is one of our favorite events at Walt Disney World. We can't wait. Subscribe to us at the Five Flamingos on YouTube.